I will say though, this is a situation, we've seen some of these comps a lot in the LCK Cup, and teams would ban like Ezreal Xayah in the last two. He had the choice of Ezreal or Xayah in this situation, but I think taking an AD carry that has some defensive tools, the Xayah into Kai'Sa, I think it makes a lot of sense. Priority in that matchup, I think they're just not willing to opt in. Although I say that, Gideon just dropped the dragon, he's walking over. They're not trading, they refuse to.
As him and Showmaker are trading pretty effectively, but already the Yone is creating some leads, and Gideon will get the extra grub over the top of DK. Doesn't work out too badly. Some pretty, I guess, subdued play by DK early on in this game. As Hook is going to come on through, headbutt, gets Lehens out of there. Gio wanting to follow up as the Glacial Prison connects. A level 5 Alistar cannot do anything about the situation. Not immediately. Lehens and Kingen are moving up though. And there is an equalizer to be put down. There it goes. Calyx moving on in as Lucid throws down the ulti. That's trying to get rid of them as Beryl, now level 6, does have the ulti running. And the ultimate from Calyx is so good. Lucid just goes down and Beryl has absolutely nowhere to go. That's going to be 3 kills for Nongshim in this early game. They don't get the Drake, but who cares? Necessarily, or the leads in lane don't really translate here into these first objective fights as the flash comes out, but still the Glacial Prison comes through. Max range on the Hook as well, as Gideon is low, but Lucid's gonna be lower, and that looks like tilt to me, ladies and gentlemen. The flash forward, good knock up there as Lehens may trade. Beryl comes over. Could it actually be a kill? In response, the answer is yes, but I don't think it's worth it, ladies and gentlemen.
Cleanse and Featherstorm down, so I think Nongshim pretty happy with that, especially as they kept the ult for Lehens. That depth charge still available, gonna make it very uncomfortable for aiming. 2,000 gold lead for Nongshim.
And the problem in my mind is that I feel like Nongshim's composition still looks good later on into the game, as now Beryl finds a headbutt pole. Can we get a Rune Prison down? That's going to be the question, as the trample going to keep him in place. And so there goes the Kai'Sa. That's a second kill here for D+. Caught out in lane and not being able to quite find as much impact has been a problem, as now Beryl is going to discover Lehens and Gideon. Nice little double knock up here, but I just don't think it's going to be enough as he just gets held in place. Calyx is going to come on over with the extra damage. And yeah, he is just swept up and destroyed.
So what was that? You were saying about a gold lead between the mid laners?
Yeah.
Just that extra kill on top,
well,
you know?
That's a good old flash in from Lehens. Aiming, tries to get himself out of there, but a Glacial Prison in response.
Timing, it just came up this second. That was flawless. Gideon and Lehens. And adding Calyx to the mix, into the mix, and they're just finding so much success.
Yep, Lehens and Gideon, both of them 100% kill contribution. They're less dangerous on this Nautilus, but you can see still able to be a bodyguard for his mid laner and jungle. Gio going to come on over, and that is going to mean the Rift Herald does go down. I picked up, and Nongshim will see whether they just throw it down immediately.
I'm a little bit surprised.
Gio actually going to be walking towards aiming here. I don't know about that one. Does lose out on that trade, but the Rift Herald coming on through. That is going to be some driving by Lehens. He did get a license, I'm pretty sure, earlier on, sorry.
This is risky if he goes for this turret.
Well, he is going to go for the turret, so maybe that license needs to be revoked, as he's just thrown into 3 members of DK and put in the bouncy castle. He will be able to dredge line the wall. They're trying to give the kill over to aiming. That's why he's surviving for so long, and I believe aiming will be able to do so. Titan's Wrath coming on through there, as he does find the wall once again. Why? Do we need to use the ulti there? But that's fine, that's fine.
But also going for the second charge, very ambitious, and now it's just going to get traded back, so...
Oh, Realm Warp going to come on through here from Showmaker. Decides not to actually follow it, as the traded turrets will come on through. Down towards the Otacon, but remember, Nongshim's resistances are getting shredded here. Nice sidestep from Beryl, as they spot out what's going on. Knock up onto the cow. Let's see whether DK can actually make something happen here. Glacial Prison comes down as Lucid. I mean, it could have been a steal, but it isn't, as it's Gideon that locks that one up. Now Beryl gets a headbutt back onto Calyx. He's the target, and he's going to get wiped out. It's a decent equalizer, but no follow-up here on the side of Nongshim, as now they're running for the hills. Lehens in trouble as well, and oh no, Otacon, a tale as old as time. It does tend to just wipe teams out, doesn't it? Some petals now going on over to DK.
And this is third dragon for D+ as well. They should be able to pick this up. I think the really important thing is that it was the Ruinous Otacon, not the Voracious. You know, normally, if the Voracious gets secured, you're kind of like, oh, do we really want to take this fight? If it's Ruinous, it's like, absolutely, we want to secure all the petals. Items over the D+ counterparts. But we do see Calyx starting the dragon.
Yeah, and it's going down extraordinarily quickly. D+ could respond with a Baron attempt or something like that, as Lucid looking to come on over. He's not going to be able to steal this, so instead they're just voyeurs watching it as it goes down, threading the needle onto Showmaker there with the Glacial Prison. The Equalizer not really doing too much, no real engage here from Nongshim as in goes Lucid to look for his opportunity. Two-man Pulverize comes through as well as Lehens has to get out of there, and Nongshim are all split. Lehens goes down first, but Nongshim are now just trying to get themselves out. It's Calix that has to ult, and the Realm Warp to deliver 4 members of DK forward. There is an attempted interrupt that doesn't quite work there onto Kingham with that Blast Cone as DK, they really want more to take this out of turret mid.
Nongshim, I think, just give it up. But honestly, I think D+ are kind of upset with how that panned out. You could see they were hunting for more.
That ward is going to spot everything that's going on, but even though DK could see the Dragon going down, it didn't actually matter last time either, as all of them grouped up for this. And now the Baron completely out of vision. Hook going to connect here as the immediate turn from Nongshim, and they blow up Showmaker. Aiming is free hitting, trying to find the targets. So many flashes from Nongshim. And DK just can't quite find the fights they're looking for, but they have been able to kill some of these stragglers as Lehens finally comboed down, and Shiu getting the kill under the Nautilus once again. Now the knock up as Calix looking for him, but he has to go back to that soul. So unable to actually complete the kill. Man, this is... all of these skirmishes feel like they're neck and neck.
So much so, just ebb and flow constantly of team trying to find that little advantage. Now looking for something here.
Yep, Calix goes in and gets the knock up on aiming, and he's wiped out. The flame spit of value gigantic as well as Calix back in amongst it once again. Lucid goes down, and there's a real fight win for Nongshim, and their reward will be a Baron.
When it comes to the battle of attrition, it's Nongshim who win out. The lack of ult on aiming and the fact he didn't end up using his flash does cost them massively.
And prior to that was one of his better champions, but Calix piloting it incredibly well here today as the inner turret falls down, utilizing this Baron really effectively. 2.8k, the Rebel Baron power play. Now it looks like it is actually just going to be a fight for this Dragon. Lehens going to get knocked up. Beryl needs to wait for his cooldowns, and DK not overly committing to anything. Lucid tanking up the Void Seeker. Can they actually get the soul? That's going to be the question as Lucid gets into the pit, and he is going to be able to take it away. In the meantime, Void Prison onto Lehens, but Beryl may just be dead. He flashes away and gets into the Realm Warp. That was sick from the cow.
On top of that, Showmaker aiming, retain the summoners.
Whoa.
Over Lucid.
There's a big old ultimate as Calix has gone in. Hasn't actually unbound the soul, and he just kills him. Never mind, he did. I didn't actually see the little spirit line, so that's just a dead Lucid, even with Showmaker watching.
Have any armor pen yet, and that Sejuani is tanky.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, a full rotation of abilities from Shiu or Showmaker aren't going to kill Gideon, and aiming doesn't have that armor pen yet, so maybe a little bit problematic.
3 minutes until the Elder is on the table.
I mean, one of the things is with the Ocean Soul, D+ can kind of, you know, hang around in a neutral state for a while, just trying to get little bits of poke down. The comps don't have that much poke, they are a bit short range though. Point is D+ get an Elder.
This is a little dangerous. Glacial Prison comes in, but once again, not a lot of follow-up as Beryl in that front line is at 50%, but he's otherwise not too worried about it. The fight over Baron Vision continues. Lehens finds the anchor as there's a knock-up onto Gideon. He's actually taking a lot of damage here, but into the backline goes Calix. Huge ulti from Lehens, but aiming with the Featherstorm. Shiu takes that as his opportunity to go in, but he's going to explode. He goes golden, and down goes aiming. It's Calix once again who's the answer, and this time Showmaker actually has the arm guard, and Shiu! Is it finally his moment to get something done on this Aurora's Calix? Between a rock and a hard place, as we like to say here in the LCK, but he's dodging a lot. The soul is unbound, but then removed from his body entirely.
I think Showmaker getting a lot of value there from the Seeker's Arm Guard, and now the team just goes straight onto the Baron. This is huge, a massive influx of gold.
And Lucid are in the area, the Dragon has spawned, and Nongshim wasting no time. Kingan on a flank angle, and remember, this is Ocean Rift, so there are so many pockets of darkness on this map. Shiu discovered by a control ward, though he will be able to clear that one out as Beryl just providing the only target that Nongshim can look for. They have to give away their position as Calix in this pit. Still just 1v1ing the Dragon right now as Lucid's going to pop on in. Beryl just wanting to get Gideon out of there. Now Calix finds the ulti onto 2 into that backline, is aiming, just trying to get rid of him. Calix taking a lot of damage. Beryl gets a 3-man pole, but there goes the Elder. DK have done it. They found the angle. Lucid's able to take down the Yone, and Kingen, he's still scary, but as soon as he comes out of being golden, he is dead. And DK will find the ace, and this will be the end of the game. 38 minutes, Nongshim in control the whole time until they weren't.
They only got a gold lead at the end of the game. They've only just overtaken Nongshim, but they clutch the fight. Lucid finds the smite, and D+ come out on top. What an error from Nongshim there. And ultimately, she was positioning. The fact that the Elder got low, you could see Calyx trying to stack up his Q on it, and it just got it too low too quickly. And at the end of the day, Lucid clutches those.
Yeah, and this is part of the big test for DK, because they have been the team that has just fallen over.
And you're playing Varus into Nico, Wukong, Ahri.
Yeah, Aiming and Jiu are just not allowed to have a good time here today.
Yep.
There is one person that is going to be having an exceptionally good time, the enemy base wall, and then just recoil.
Oh, you know, I heard someone mention the other day, have you seen the Lee Sin Neela strategy? That was rage a bit. I'll explain it after we see what happens here.
Oh, that piercing arrow missing is kind of crazy, but that heroic charge, that is going to land, and then Nimbus Strike has already been taken, so Lucid's just dead. I'm pretty sure he got word of the fact that there were a lot of bad guys over there.
Might be a mistake.
Yeah, they will see that he oh, that was a little bit cute as Lehens does manage to go up into the sky, gets back down onto a minion, is now Lucid, able to get on over there. No heroic charge to take the kill, but Calyx is in position. Aiming, wanting to kill Gio as well, as Beryl just trying to be annoying. Can Aiming find a Renset? That's the question. The answer is no, just barely. Unable to get the kill onto the Poppy. Oh, such a Poppy situation, as DK once again trading down.
But it is Nongshim who come out clean on this one, and a Callisto falling behind like this, never what you want.
Yep, absolute disaster. This is also not looking super great, but there is some webs down. Lucid gonna need that Q, and he does find it. The extended range helping out, as there is the Tangle Barbs. Yeah.
There's a lot of dashes on the side of D+.
And they sort of picked into it as well, as now Lehens looks for a cocoon, connects it, as Piercing Arrow as well, takes Beryl down to half health. Lucid clearing out some vision, looking to start off this dragon, will be able to do so.
But yeah, does end up whipping, and that was a nice spot, because Nongshim did have that level 6 advantage for a moment in the AD carries.
Ooh, Gideon thinking about just walking up and trying to kill Shiu. Let's see whether that works, as the Cyclone comes down. There's the ultimate, and it's not going to find the mark. Another Cyclone going to be used, as now Kingen taking a lot of damage. And Showmaker, he wants to kill Gideon, and he'll get exactly what he wants. Morning Mist not going to land, but Lucid certainly will. And DK finally finding a big advantage on the map, evening out the gold. They might give up a plate in mid lane for it, but that is it.
Aim to take the dragon.
Might just be 6 grubs over to Nongshim, though, is pretty scary.
Yeah, I think Nongshim happy with this trade. 6 grubs, and they only get the first dragon. You're fine with that.
Yep.
You know, I feel like, actually, Lucid's just resetting, so, not even going for it.
Who then just rends, as Kingen is not going to get knocked up until now. Ghouliewall comes in, and he's in the Thunderdome. Down he goes, and Shiu's going to be able to lock down that kill. Nicely played by DK, good patience from Lucid, but now Nongshim, no.
Winning that race.
I mean, it's 2 on the top side, but it's also 2 in the bottom lane, isn't it? Because there's the Maiden there as well. There it goes.
Yeah. So, D+, pretty happy with how things have panned out in the past few minutes, considering how badly this game started. Now, Gideon trying to take the Raptors here, but maybe just get them.
Trickster, but good hold on the hammer boot from Kingen. As Maiden, save it, save it! Oh, thank goodness Shiu is okay. Calyx is what they have to deal with now. As flash out from Lucid, seismic shove pulls him back, and now Gideon comes on forward. They even take down the Maiden. Good answer here from Nongshim.
The bot lane in general, we haven't seen much of from D+. Now look for Jiwoo.
Yeah, now we're going to see it, as Jiwoo going to take a lot of damage. Yeah, Rend won't need too many stacks here, as there it is, Aiming able to take it down. I think that was a last hit pierce. Nicely played, as Jiwoo invests everything and still dies. Showmaker connects another nice charm. Calyx actually taking a lot of damage here. The threaded volley, uncancelable of course, as Showmaker trying to get himself out of the way, and it does not work. Thought that he had the timer on that steadfast presence, but instead stuns himself up and will go down.
Lucid looking, does manage to feel it out and disengage from the situation.
Oh, the flash steadfast presence is beautiful there onto Lucid. Does manage to Warrior Trickster, but I still don't think he's getting out of this one. The wall is going to come through, and the Pop Blossom picks up one. Gideon going to be held in position, and Shiu, he teleported in. And that should mean that they are able to at least get Gideon there. So tested here, Nongshim will be able to collect that for themselves. That is going to mean feats of strength over to Nongshim as well. As DK, they are laser focused on taking dragons. Some focused assessment I learned from Daniel Orks Harrison. That is the best way to assess outcomes.
It's the best way, you know? See what happens and then judge based on that.
Yeah, foolproof. Absolutely. As Beryl says over a few times, and now aiming, possibly caught out of position. Chains of Corruption connects onto him, but Lucid comes on over, and Jiwoo may have overstepped. That's a flash. They are fully committing to that one. And down Jiwoo will go. No real response as the rest of Nongshim. Never mind, Kingin just darting on top of aiming, and there goes both AD carries in an instant. Kingin taking matters into his own hands here as the Shock Blast is decent. Pop Blossom gonna connect onto Gideon and Calyx, but Beryl is gonna die immediately, and Lucid cannot do anything about it. Lehens will get taken out, and some Essence to give Showmaker some health back, but the buckler to the noggin, and that secures the kill. Nongshim!
It is just a Captain America build, that's how it is.
Yep. Gideon is a force to be reckoned with. Oh, Deadman's played as well.
Yeah, you just decapitate people with the buckler.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Phase Rush and Deadman's, like, you are running so fast. Kind of ridiculous. As Gideon now, you can see with that red cape, quickly.
He was convinced it didn't take much.
It's time to start it up as the turret is going to be taken down in mid lane. The inner is actually secured. And now Calyx getting on over to the rest of the team. Weaver's Wall put up as Beryl. Oh, he wants that Pop Blossom angle. There is a decent one there as Shiu puts down the Ghoulie Wall just to buy some space. As fake Beryl goes in, that's just going to be a steal on a silver platter. Nongshim just walk in and take it away. Pop Blossom onto 2. I don't know whether it's going to be enough though, as they might send Calyx home, but they don't even manage to do that. Still, they have everyone here, and one of the withdrawals has been sent out. Lucid trying to escape. Another withdrawal going to come through there as now Gideon, the one that's in trouble, one after the other. They are picking them up, and the Drake could just distract DK for long enough to let Nongshim get out.
And I mean, I think D+ happy to just take the dragon.
Jiwoo, why are we I don't know why we're there. It's a silly Billy maneuver, perhaps, as, yeah, the barrier is not going to save you, as the Shoveler will come after you. Calyx has teleported in, and he hasn't actually used his one yet, as now Gideon just, what the heck was that damage? Absolutely absurd, but also absolutely absurd reason to go in. There wasn't quite one. As now Shiu trying to get on top of King, and who has a lot of damage, wants to do what he did in the mid lane, as now Lehens comes over. And one after the other, Nongshim are still picking fights. After that, and so you start off a Baron. That is what's happening. Seismic Shove, not going to find Beryl.
I mean, if Gideon finds Lucid, there we go.
Okay, yeah, Lucid's just out of there. Lehens may die, but for the good of the colony, ladies and gentlemen, Shiu is going to look to try and get some extra pressure on, but I mean...
Well, I think what we can do is we can do some outcome-focused assessments, and whoever gets the dragon, it was a 100% chance they were going to get it because they got it.
Yeah,
that's how it works.
I also think it's 100%. Okay, Lucid over the wall there as Gideon possibly out of position as the Ghoulie Wall is going to... Oh no, he gets a taxi out by Shiu, but Gideon will finally go down. Fate's Call is aiming, wanting to find more. Calyx going to get knocked up as Showmaker dives forward. Beryl is just dead though, so it's a 1-for-1. Lucid finds Lehens in the back line, so they do lose their support as well, but Aiming's also dead, and Kingin's a raid boss. The rest of Nongshim, with their Baron and 6 grubs, are still just going to take an inhibitor here off the back end of the fight.
I think the pick on a Gideon was fantastic. And you could have just stopped there. You know, they threw Beryl in at 10 HP. I know he probably was calling for it, but
yeah,
still.
No, that was his choice. He could have pressed the other direction. As now Shiu just thrown around like a ragdoll and destroyed. To the skies goes Kingin, but it's actually Yorick that goes to the skies for real. As now, Beryl finds the angle. Oh, the charm for the finish off is now Jiu looking for it. But Beryl, he's got flash. He tries to get away. DK just desperately trying to hold on to their base. As one inhibitor still taken down, so still a good push here by Nongshim. DK gonna quite get there in time as the teleport just brings Showmaker in. There goes the dragon, the first one here for Nongshim. As the rest of DK now looking to wrap around. These health bars are still relatively low on the side of Nongshim, but still. And Nongshim will be able to take down this turret. But can DK find it? Gee, what are we doing there? It's a little bit scary, but he knew that he was gonna be okay, and he indeed was. Regen somehow avoids that shock blast. As it's a face-off.
I think if the Maiden takes a shock blast every minute, it'll survive.
Oh, there's the Pop Blossom, connects onto only one. Lehens goes up into the sky, but he comes down exactly where he doesn't want to be. Keeper's Verdict comes on through as Beryl is just dead. A trade of supports, but down goes the Yorick as well. Kingen does so much damage. Steadfast Presence comes through from Gideon. He just wipes up the remaining carries of DK. And Nongshim, they do not want to repeat of game number 1. This time, they really want to wipe out DK, and that team fight did exactly that.
I think they held their nerve. Kingen get a lot of value on this Jace, and they don't make those same mistakes as last time. They don't start up the objectives and just let Lucid slide in and steal it. And Nongshim holds strong in this game. Definitely a messy one. This is never going to be a clean series.
If the Syndra ults and you got all the orbs, does the Sylas pick up her orbs as well? He doesn't, right? That'd be crazy.
Okay, so I actually have some inside knowledge on this.
Right.
Remember when they did one above all?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you only ulted with your team's balls.
Glacial Fissure that works like a equalizer or anything like that is now. We got some heals traded. Geo just walking at them. Beryl almost just dies.
Calculated.
I guess so, but now Lehens is going to get the flash as Pix is going to help out. And Beryl, how did we not see that was going to happen? He has kind of been the linchpin of this team. As Lucid will be able to send this one away, as Calyx could be in trouble, but Lehens moves up and Showmaker is just dead. Gideon just does a pirouette and takes him down. Beryl still unable to really electrocute anyone.
Good moves coming out, and Calyx really setting that one up, getting the backup as well.
He is extremely good at this champion, so if there's anyone that can actually find value in it, certainly him. It's DK doing their very best to get themselves out. Chiu does have some mist to go down, as the last remaining grubs are going to be secured by Nongshim. Gideon looking for an angle here as the Magical Journey not going to be taken to use it. Kingen going to rotate down, and this isn't worth contesting, I don't think. That will be...
It would be good if they got something else, though.
Yeah. So if you're going to waste time over here, maybe go for something is the option. Public Execution going to connect. The bullet time comes down and aiming is executed. Feats of Warfare in an instant. And Nongshim continuing on that front foot. I want to see whether all of those orbs are picked up, but I don't think they are. I think it's exactly as you say. As okay, there's a flash in from Lucid. Gets the Impale there as well. And Calyx does get healed up. The Wild Growth helping out, but not helping out enough. As Tempered Fate will keep Showmaker alive for a little while longer, but timed really nicely here is Gideon as Beryl comes in, avoids one of those pirouettes as he gets slammed into the wall, and quick Beryl electrocute harder as there's a solo kill from Gwen. That did what it said on the tin, absolutely. And Gideon also doing exactly what he needs to as well, buffed up by Lehens. This is a scary, scary Lilia.
That's not going to feel fun.
All right, Lucid. Thinking about going for a gank onto Kingen here as Gideon's going to come down. Oh, the Public Execution is blocked, but still, Kingen's able to use it to get out, and now Teleport is coming in. The Impale just drags the Lilia away, but he's walking towards Chiu, and unfortunately for Lucid, it's just a sacrifice of his own life. That will equal a Dragon for Nongshim at the same time as Showmaker looking to try and at least get some side lane pressure in here. But DK, it feels like they're trading down.
Felt like an unforced error, honestly. And the problem with going for a flank angle onto an Ambessa is it gives you an exit route. You know, her ult has to go and hit a target to get her out.
Much less. As you can see here, this is going to be Feats of Strength lockdown once again for Nongshim. The translation of this jungle advantage into objectives, into map control is absolutely apparent. There it goes. Those shoes made for walking. Looking real nice here on the side of Nongshim. And it's looking like... Okay, Nongshim coming on through. Gideon is playing aggressively and will get slammed into the wall. See whether Lucid gets sleepy, as that is a lot of damage. Wild Growth going to work out though as Gideon gets the heal, gets himself out as their scat of the week. We'll see whether Lehens is going to be the target. Tempered Fate buys some space. As Lehens, the needlework comes in. There's the Mystic Shot. Teleport immediately to try and catch Kingen, looking to take this turret. He may actually still just take it. There are a lot of minions, and there it goes.
5 grubs.
Yeah, that'll do it. Rift Herald now going to be thrown down in the mid lane as there's bullet time. Not going to be enough to take down aiming. He had Arcane Shift, and so he will be all right. But look at this pressure. It is massive. Because now Showmaker trying to dodge Calyx's abilities, and he has to use the flash to get out of the way of Lucid. He's just cutting down turrets on the other side of the map.
I mean, D+ are trying to force, they're not finding success, and they're just losing in the side lane as this goes on. The stun from Showmaker didn't quite connect on a Gideon.
Whether it's necessarily worth throwing your life away for, but he's still going to walk on in, see what he can get done. That is going to be Gideon locking it down, though. No real response. Now Lucid gets in as best he can. It's a Cloud Soul, but Kingin starting up the public execution, and Beryl going to be the first one to go down as a response. There's a decent impale, though, and it's the stolen one. It's so good from Calyx. They're wiping the floor with DK.
Gonna go for the smite steal, and then yeah, King getting that great ult in. The sleep comes through, the Ezreal's dead. It's just member after member falling down. The Lucid ults, but to no avail. And now you lose a dragon, you lose the fight. You're gonna lose the Arakan as well. They can even delay this a little bit so it overlaps with the Baron.
There goes the Arakan. So Gideon gonna be locking that one down for the team.
Yeah, a little, if you look, it's like 218 for the Baron.
Nongshim, no need to overinvest. They've got Calyx on the top side, just taking an inner turret. And Nongshim just have the answers to everything DK's trying to do this game.
Every single time you see Deep Frost taking a fight, there's someone in the side lane taking a structure. And they only get the recall for Gideon. They don't get that gold shutdown, they don't get that bounty.
Yep.
And it just feels like Nongshim are playing the map so much better right now.
Yep, public execution not going to get Kingin out of here, but it's still just Kingin taking a bit of a rest back in base. And Nongshim are going to rotate down. The rest of DK coming up. See what they can actually find here. Cosmic Binding needed to hit their barrel as Jiu in an awkward spot, but still standing his ground against aiming. That is still going to be $200 going over to Xiu. As Calyx, the next one on the menu, some needlework coming out as the polymorph onto Lucid's pretty cute. Still the crash comes in, and there's the explosion of damage. Another recall, another Voracious Arakan being a little bit awkward, as Gideon doesn't have an extra life, but he does have a lot of his own health bar. Calyx?
Guys, what is a side lane?
Yeah, what is a side lane? Calyx is just here taking an inhibitor turret, and that will go down. It will be responded with by the first Cloud Drake of the game going over to DK.
Oh, that's a TP flank.
Oh god. Kingin has him where he wants him as there's the public execution onto Beryl. He's likely just dead, and that is indeed true. As the Impale goes entirely wide. Gideon now in a little bit of trouble here is on the side lane. Calyx has found Showmaker, and I don't think Showmaker's doing anything about it. He'll slow him up for a little bit. But then, oh, actually, he's got a lot of movement speed, guys. Never mind, he's dead. As Calyx is able to lock that one down with the passive, spins around, gets those chains working.
And 0-4-2 on the Skarner, not having the impact he wanted in this game. And now Nongshim will easily pick up this Baron.
Oh, well, that's going to be annoying. True Shot Barrage. Oh, God, that was way too close. That was way too close. As Nongshim fans just like, not even close, baby. It's fine. It's absolutely fine.
Side lane.
What does this game mean? It's okay. There's an Impale! Oh no! Lucid getting a taste of his own medicine here as he's now trying to get out, but now it is lilting time, ladies and gentlemen. Beryl is going to get knocked up and destroyed, although he survives for a little bit longer than we expect. There is Lucid going down, and aiming's like, yeah, nah, can't help you there. And that is going to be exactly right as DK trying to defend this, but instead it's Kingin starting up the fight. The Ambessa, I think, is going to get her first win against this Gwen. You never take him down a 7th time in a row in this top lane matchup. And even though he died in the 1v1, it does not matter as DK looking to try and defend their Nexus turrets, and Nongshim looking to just say no. The Nexus turret's going down so incredibly fast, and Nongshim will put themselves right up at the top. They are heading towards Legend Group. That's what it feels like here in the LCK as they finish the round robin. Looking great. The Rakan picked in an awkward position for Keria earlier on in the season as well. That didn't go all that well when that gamble was taken. Starting on his blue, as you can see, was easily able to take down the Rift Scuttler as Zeka gets into the river. Seismic Shove, we didn't really want to watch because Zeka just gets thrown back into a bunch of rocks and then is taken out. That's Diablo getting the kill as well with a Void Seeker, which is a big deal. Walk out of the way. You're not going to utilize that advantage to try and go for some grubs here as Kellen's going to make his way in. That's a flash, but nothing else. As he's trampling, but otherwise not really finding anything there as the rocks go down. Seismic Shove going to push Peanut towards them. One grub already secured here as the wall is going to go down. And now Zeka going to get interrupted, so he does have to flash. No Realm Warp for you. So first grub does go over to HLE as Wind becomes lightning and the grub becomes back in its house.
Well, you gotta be careful. Oh, and Helen doesn't connect again.
Helen's doing some weird stuff this game. However, I guess grub advantage over to BNK. Side to Gwen versus Kaiser is feeling like it's pretty good for the Gwen. As Peanut, as we say it, pops over the wall and is going to be able to take down the grubs.
Simple exchange.
Yep. That was only the first streak as well, so not exactly the earliest one. Snip, snip, goes Zeus. As Diablo just walks into the mist. It does get moved. Kellen being frustrating here.
Oh, TP coming in. They're looking for this.
All right. Seeing whether they can collect at least one of these grubs. On a ward is Raptor. That is 2 grubs picked up by Peanut, though. As now the Talia comes in, but HLE able to regroup. BNK, I don't think they're going to be able to get one of these. Kellen's going to move over. Raptor can actually get into position. Chains of Corruption comes down. Great flash from Delight as he does manage to get the quickness off. That is the secure as the Glacial Prison goes completely wide, and BNK now just want to get out of there. Zekka on a flank angle is pretty scary. Here from HLE is Delight on the spot, but that ward has been shut down. Now Zeus just looking to deal with the minion wave. Delight with the quickness, trying to charm them all up underneath this turret as the teleport comes in. Zeus trying to keep himself alive and does so for a long time. Eventually does go down, but now HLE, can you find anyone? As Diablo's in trouble. And, ooh, not quite enough with that spell flux from Zekka. On through. And Peanut gets the inside track. Kellen now, it's his turn to rotate over. Zekka and Delight still here towards the top side, but nothing they can do about this turret as BNK continue to make the right moves around the map.
Nongshim did find the upset. Took a while.
Ooh, really nice moves there from Clear. I don't know whether it's going to be enough, and in fact it's not. But the sidestep with the Ghost Blade movement speed, kind of cute. As BNK going to be trading it for the second dragon of the game, moving closer and closer to a soul point angle. As this Chemtech is going to go down. Next will be an Ocean, a little bit unfortunately.
I just think it's... BNK FEARX are in a good position, but I'm still worried.
Yeah, me too.
Zeus on Gwen, scary prospect.
I think the only thing that's sort of keeping me in it as far as like this Gwen is not going to be as much of a problem is that we just saw it lose. So it can lose.
I think Clear is maybe dead. Nope, Raptor's here to cover him, but it still could be.
Yeah, Zeus is going to throw out some needles towards him. Great Hammer going to boop him back, but there is the knock-up. Peanut setting up that Q very, very nicely, and Clear doesn't have a turret to run back to. As now Zeus wants to try and keep Raptor and Kellen away as Peanut and Delight get the work done. As the teleport does come in, oh no, Kellen, I think he might be just cooked. That's a triple knock-up with the Pulverize, and then he just gets turned into mincemeat. Down he goes, chopped up by the Gwen.
The only consolation prize is there's no Arakan up right now for HLE to move over to, but just have Cleanse. Probably gonna have to use it here.
Yeah, the Ghost has been popped here by Viper as they see that Diablo has gone north.
Oh, he is.
And now he's likely to be just dead. Chains of Corruption will get cleansed, and then his life will also get cleansed.
You know, sometimes you can just not click your buttons.
The rest of his team, but there's an angle here for BNK to go for something perhaps. As Zekka finds himself on the wrong side of the wall and will have to flash over. Still, the Drake is going to be denied. HLE will lock down their first of the game. Probably the best of a bad situation here for BNK, though. Being able to get the flash out of Zekka is certainly something.
Running down, forcing things like the Alistar ult without fully committing. It's just very difficult for BNK FEARX to react to. And more gold for the Gwen.
Aggression. Kellen getting softened up a little bit, but the piercing arrows don't hurt as much with this version of... Okay, never mind. Diablo immediately having to hold. Has a seismic shove onto Peanut. The Crescent Guard not quite working out there as he is taken down. The quickness doing some work as Diablo just getting cut up by this Gwen. And he will get shut down. Now Zekka fighting against a couple as Vikler and Kellen trying to keep him at bay. But it's Peanut and Viper on the floor. And the Weaver's Wall should be able to lock down Delight as well. BNK finding the team fight despite Diablo going down.
Yeah, managing to get on top of Viper, who, even despite having the flash, ends up going down. So we saw Zeus get a lot of value in the fight, but his team kind of fell apart. Zekka did just get the level up for the Rod of Ages. A lot of low health bars, but still not willing to take this encounter.
Oh, nicely done.
Goes down. BNK FEARX able to pick that up, but
well,
so quickly, give me answers. Why not? I need to tell them.
Yeah, Raptor is going to get zoned a little bit here by Zekka, though, so that is just the Voracious Otacon taken. Clean, no worries. It was the right play.
We didn't say why not, and HLE, they got it done, so...
Oh, BNK were like, well, maybe we'll take an inner turret as our response.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. With it being Voracious Otacon, it's not so much about the Otacon itself, as it's what you can get with the buff. So far, a minion wave.
Ooh, Hex Splash. Going to get Kellen amongst it. As Zeus in a bit of trouble, or is Diablo? And the answer is Diablo. Never mind, it's a beautiful seismic shove angle, and it doesn't matter at all because Gwen exists, ladies and gentlemen. The needlework is gorgeous. Raptor trying to get out of there, and he will be able to make his way out, but Diablo's now on the floor. We're just doing the Baron. Look at how quickly it's going down. This is absolutely ridiculous. Down to 6K already. Raptor trying to get in there, but the grand entrance has to be avoided. Zeka holds him in place, and there it goes. Headbutt pulverized there from Kellen. Let's see whether they can find something. Another double seismic shove and another one that means nothing.
Great read in this situation. The Dragon would have been, I'm going to be honest, basically meaningless.
Yep.
A long way away from Soul still. If HD would get it, it'd be mostly a denial from BNK FEARX. The Baron take, very significant now. Pushing down mid. That tower was already low.
Yeah, this one's going to go no matter what they do.
Yeah, goodbye.
So thankfully, BNK aren't going to invest too much in trying to defend that one, but can they keep their inner turret alive is the question, because with this Baron and the Voracious Otacon buff, HLE are so incredibly comfortable. Zeus in between turrets right now, does go golden as they take down the turret. That's going to be their priority, is now Viper getting engaged on by Diablo. He supercharges into the backline, the knock up a little bit too late, but still, he goes down. Zeka finding a lot of damage, but Kellen not hit by the last Q and will keep himself alive. A lot of withdrawals now coming in for HLE.
He's very scary.
He is.
The turrets as well. Oh my lord.
Yes, that turret is no longer alive because there's a lot of AP.
Yeah, I blinked and
that's called compromise.
this is Ocean's sort of Realm Orb coming in.
All right. Oh! Zeka just gets out of there, as now this could be a little bit of an awkward spot. Viper in the pit is a scary one, as Peanut just going in. Seismic shove is decent, and Vikla creates some space here as now the charm comes through. Zeka goes golden there as well, and it's Viper starting to pop off in the fight. He's down to 50% health, but I don't know whether he's under any threat. And now Zeka finding damage onto Diablo. The Rune Prison is out, and down he goes. Oh, never mind. That was actually just the Dragon. Diablo goes in, but he gets knocked up and destroyed. HLE, they leave the cow alive.
To punish him, because why would you anticipate that? Why would you anticipate the enemy AD carry teleporting right into the middle of your team?
Yeah, there must be a reason. And as it turned out, there wasn't really one. As now Kellen gets grievous wounds onto HLE, and HLE responds by destroying his Nexus. It was definitely a lot closer than a lot of us would have expected, but HLE still going to come out on top in the end.
If he fades calls and he attaches it to Peanut, unforgivable. There's only one person. When I look at that team, there's only one person.
Okay, yeah, so now you don't even need Zhonya's on cannon.
You just launch him in.
Oh my god, he's continuing to fish. Oh wait, no, this
was from level 1.
The replay. Yeah.
This is so you know where the gold came from. This is thank you very much. So you can see the live evidence of the 3 goals.
Zeka just playing around on the edge, and he picks up first blood. How did that even happen? Look at Vikla's face. He's like, what the heck? I mean, I'm trying to find the positive. Wait, maybe he just dies in a 1v2. Oh my god! He still gets the crash. Vikla has moved over here, and Zeka unable to get on top of the Skana now. He's eaten through the potion. These autos not quite working. He lands the chain, has the Kingslayer, flashes over as the chain lash connects, and he dies. But that was way too close. Raptor from going over the wall there. It's not a dash. It is just a drive.
The wall slam was on cooldown already, so the wall forced him away, and I think the big thing is how Zeka played a hit level 6 first, ulted Vikla to force him back, force him low HP, and then able to move over and secure all 3 grubs. So pretty nice, and especially since they're not traded, I think HLE very happy with that.
Yeah. All right, clear going in. Zeus with the answer immediately. As there's the flash in onto Vikla. Zeka gets on over. The gravity field not going to quite work. And even though Zeka hits the chain onto a minion, it doesn't matter because he closed the gap. And down goes the Victor one more time. Heal comes out from HLE as now Viper is just shooting these arrows into Diablo. The flash after him, and he's got the bailout. He's definitely getting this kill. And now Kellen might be going down as well. Raptor able to do a bit of a drive-by just to keep the Nico alive.
You know, he just grabs Yol. He's like, oh yeah. And then immediately you're like, yeah, do we want to fight? Perhaps not. Perhaps we don't want to fight into that.
No, it is just going to be the Dragon secured by Peanut. Control ward, and has absolutely no idea that the Skana was here. Arrow just going to throw him underneath the turret. The Impale comes through, but the hostile takeover is already there. Delight trying to keep himself alive, but it's not going to work out as Viper at least softening them up a whole lot with this volley. And I don't think Peanut can actually stick around here, able to at least get one of these as Zeka is towards the bottom side of the map, grabbing plates. And Delight goes down, but I think it was a noble sacrifice once again. Good down. And Kellen and Raptor will be able to grab the scraps here.
I mean, just a sneaky play from Raptor. You know, Peanut being on the top side, I think Viper and Delight felt very safe.
Wow. And BNK just kind of flubbed that one, you could say.
Yeah, oh no.
Oh dear. Clear is dead, ladies and gentlemen. And there is no way for him to get out. That's going to spell the end of the turret. That's going to be some feats of strength going on over the HLE. Some upgraded shoes are going to be the least of BNK's worries, though, because Diablo is just going to get thrown into the wall and murdered.
Yeah, uses a cleanse as well.
Oh dear.
It feels like this game is quickly spiraling out of control. An avenue to get back to this game, but I guess you have to just play around picks. You know, you burn Viper's flash.
Oh, that's a flash in from Clear. He's going for it, but he will get stunned up again. The dash cannon is done as Zeus. Oh, he was thinking about it. The flash! And he just kills him with a W. Oh, you do not challenge the God of Thunder on his champion of choice. Now this could be a pick-off onto Delight, but he actually finds the handshake. The immediate response is just gorgeous as Zeus doesn't really offer too much help. He gets the bailout, and let's see whether it's actually going to work out here as Peanut goes in, but it's not going to be enough. Kellen likely to go down, and he does. Still a good trade, though, as Diablo still hopping towards the Poppy. Two on the floor on both sides. Zeka now moving on up, and if you trade evenly, you trade up if you're losing. Oh, never mind. You don't trade evenly. There's the Fate's Call. That's going to pull back Peanut. As we know, it is often the junglers. And just Diablo might actually get something done here. Okay, we're flashing, and Peanut is just dead.
I'm just so disappointed, not with Peanut at the end, but that the Fate's Call is on Peanut. This is dead now.
Okay,
now
there it is. Tanglebubs is going to hold him in place. He does have his ulti. Arrow is nailing down as well, and it's going to crash directly into Clear. He gets himself the counter-strike, but unfortunately, it's still going to be the end of the Jax. And Zeus, he's just back to farming.
Away from them more and more.
A little bit of spiraling perhaps happening, but there is a lot of craziness happening on this map as well. It's not a perfect game, you know, we're not having that conversation. BNK still able to grab 5 kills so far. Some fast and loose League of Legends, and no better Dragon Soul to augment it than the Hex Tech. And we've got a Ruinous Artican as well, so this is going to be some fun. As Delight moving up towards his top side, his Rakan.
Full levels.
Can they kill him? That's the question. Pop Blossom is going to at least knock him up. There's the Impale connecting as well. He does manage to get the ulti off, but I don't know whether it's going to be enough to keep him alive. It will be in trade for this Ruinous Artican on the top side of the map, and the Rift Herald is going to be employed just to take this inner turret on the bottom side. That is a lot of extra money going over to BNK FEARX.
I mean, I think it's the right play. I think you have to do something. You're not going to fight them at Artican, but this does not feel nice to give over the Ruinous Artican. When you're already down in experience...
Oh, we're driving. We're driving.
A little bit. Oh, a little bit.
Oh, and he gets another charge. There we go. And that turret's going to go down. So that's 3 turrets. Okay. Getting some money back.
And Peanut's just killing all the flowers.
Yeah, I mean, ignore this. The pedal advantage is going to be absurd.
If Nico pretends to be Zeka,
that's going to balance it out. Zeka is going to show how strong he is at level 15 by fighting Raptor momentarily, but he gets smashed into the wall. Fate's Call comes out here from Diablo just to keep him CC'd, and Zeka does go golden. Those sticks are getting dangerous as he does find himself an Impale, and he's got the bailout there as well. It will get Proctors now. Diablo's in trouble. He's taking so much damage, but he will actually keep himself alive. And now Vikla having to deal with Viper, throws down the gravity field, as now Clear will get the flash out from Viper, and BNK, they find the angle.
Yeah, was just clean with it. Kiting like an absolute beast. I was like, yeah, maybe the lethality cluster would have worked better. I take back what I said. He was so clean in that fight. Typically a situation would expect them to struggle, and suddenly that gold lead, 1,000 the difference. And Peanut, once again,
out of it until you're out of it. You know, you really do need that Nexus to explode to really determine the end of the game. As we're fighting once again, Pop Blossom entirely whipped there by Kellen, as the rest of HLE trying to get over here, but Peanut is just dead. He says, guys, I was here this time. And as it turned out, it didn't matter because Zeka wasn't, neither was Viper.
Okay, so, and then 1 dragon from Soul.
Oh.
So,
all right, Viper not going to be able to sidestep that one, as Raptor pulls him in, and Diablo just dancing towards him. That's a dead Viper once again. So now a gold lead for BNK FEARX. What the heck was that? Okay, Zeus is terrifying. We knew that already. Let's see whether BNK can actually find a team fight that they can win. As there is the ulti that is going to get rid of the Kalista. She's not in the fight. Down goes Kellen. It is the dragon secured by BNK. Viper is free hitting though. And now Vikla gets closed in on by Zeka. The flash over the wall, but the Q connects from Zeus, sorry. He grabs a double as he'd already dealt with Clear in the 1v1. And HLE, I think they've stopped with the funny business. It's time for Baron, and maybe they want to actually win this game.
Yeah, Peanut ult there was huge. Doesn't manage to get the smite in the end, but the thing, just space on the map. If you can kind of put BNK FEARX into a position where they're cautious to leave their base, it can be devastating, but they're not even in position to defend.
Oh, Arrow is actually going to stop the back. And so now, Raptor is forced to stick around, or at least I think that was Raptor. It's kind of hard when there's a Nico on the map. As Kellen, he was actually there. He's looking for a flank angle as Raptor is now just going to waddle his way over.
Oh, TP's coming in.
Yeah. Can Kellen get this Pop Blossom to work out? He doesn't have flash. It's going to be hard. As now Raptor gets closed in on. There is just impales happening all over the place. A decent Pop Blossom does come on through as Diablo fighting against Zeus. Zeus goes golden, but Clear gets into position. There's the Mikhails onto the cannon. And now Diablo nowhere near. And Clear does not have the counter-strike, so it's a double kill to go over to Viper. And I think HLE have decided to stop with the weird play and decided to just win.
Seems like that's the way. There's a lot of wave clear from Vikla though. And Diablo being there as well is still a threat. We'll see what they can do, but this is a tall task, 2v5.
Yep, the Pierce is actually going to stop that one as Heroic Charge doesn't land. As far as the stun is concerned, another Fate's Call to come on through here as, Zeko's trying to read the flash. Vikla is likely just dead as Viper's flash forward, and he picks up the kill onto Diablo. Kellen respawns, the Nexus turrets are going down, and HLE, oh man, it got a little bit weird in the middle there, but ultimately are able to get the 2-0 over BNK FEARX and will end this round robin after a bit of time. We are just waiting. The minions have all been taken down. I was on a big old spiel. Finally, the Nexus does go down and HLE will finish off.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.